Alright, everything should be working fine. Hi, everyone. So, yeah, this is going to be a bit of a string. So, I had this idea in my head for quite a bit of time now where I wanted to sort of take a step back from, like, the newer games and everything, or playing some games blindly, and just kind of revisit some older games that I haven't touched in a while. So, this will be interesting. But yeah, we are going to be playing Fate Extra today. Oh. Story in this game is a work of fiction. Any resemblance to any real person or location is purely coincidental. Yeah. Okay, so to anyone who has never played this, Fate Extra is basically just basically Fate Stay Night, but it's as an RPG. So anyway, it's a bright sunny morning. The air is filled with the joyful laughter of students. There's more activity than normal in front of the school gate. A crowd is forming as students are being called over. I wonder what's going on. When I peer into the center of the hubbub, I see my friend and student council president, Issei Ryudo. Good morning. Lovely weather, don't you think? Hmm? Why do you look so surprised? We announced at last week's assembly that this month's student council would strictly enforce students' school rules. I have been asked with performing inspections to ensure students are in compliance with school rules. Now, it goes without saying that everyone is subjected to inspections, even old friends. Also, if you're wondering about the icon at the bottom right, I'm giving my avatar a break this time around. Mainly because the software is a little bit on the fritz. At least in terms of working with streaming. So I gotta figure that out, but in the meantime, you get the reactive image. Now then, uniform inspection time. Color, check. Pandems, check. And your socks, check. Next is the contents of your bag. Notebook, textbooks, pencil box. Even a whiff of contrails. Your nails are evenly cut and your haircut is sensible. Indeed, quite remarkable. You're a model Tsukimihara Academy student. Someone like you ought to consider a future in student government. You're perfect for it. Oh, but I never try to coerce you into joining the student council. We aren't like that. Now then, off to your classroom. Enjoy your day. Before I can reply, Mr. Diligent, student council president, is on to the next student's inspection. Hungry for the gossip, on their way to the classrooms, the students jabber about their inspections. Things are already so gently bustling in the morning. Another peaceful beginning to another peaceful day. Yeah, it has been a long time. This is a game from 2011. It's been a long while since I actually played this. But I remember some very details about the game. But yeah, this, to those who don't know, Fate Extra is a Fate RPG that's, I believe, only released on the... Yeah, it only released on the PlayStation Portable, but from the sounds of it, they are coming out with, But from the sounds of it, they are coming out with a remake or remastered on the on Steam pretty soon and eventually. I don't know. There's been word about it, but there hasn't been much else. As I enter class, I see Mato with a bunch of girls. Why he's so popular is a mystery. So it's funny because before I decided to do this, I actually I have this old video on my channel where I played the Caligula effect for over an hour, and how for over an hour, pretty much, I was almost damn near an hour. I was like pretty much unable to really like move or do anything. The exception being like a couple of dialogue prompts and a tutorial fight in which they gave me everything about the basics just right before I went into the tutorial. So yeah. And in this, it was like, it's been how long? And I got, at the very least, was able to move around and find my classroom. Oh yeah, Shinji, that asshole. Yeah. Yeah, so this game didn't actually, if I recall correctly, didn't actually have a English release. It's one of those RPGs that only came out with a Japanese voice acting. Yeah, I think everyone collectively agrees, regardless of whether or not you've only seen Unlimited Blade Works, or if you're a longtime fan of Fade, Shinji's one of the worst fucking characters in this entire series. His arrogance is almost palpable. I don't know what he's saying, but it makes all the girls squeal with joy. Actually, let me rephrase. His popularity isn't so much mysterious as it is unnatural. I was just doing a little math tutoring. This stuff is beyond easy. For me, anyway. Wait a sec. Hey, Mato, isn't the answer to this question totally wrong in every way? What in the... I'm the one who solved that! There's no way it could be wrong. But look at this. Since when did 2 plus 2 equal 5? I never take such a stupid mistake. It's all your fault. You're the idiots here, not me. Yeah, don't worry. He gets worse. I hate dealing with the Polaritat. Especially when they think they're all my equal. It's really pathetic that these worms don't know their place. That's why I like you so much. Even though you're boring, you don't have to steal my thunder. You're the ultimate sidekick. Shinji flashes me a smile. It's weird how I never take offense at the way he talks to me. By some strange twist of fate, Shinji and I are friends. How we became friends was... I actually can't quite remember how it happened. I want to say we met in springtime. The bell for class rings as I try to recollect. And who should fly through the door but our homeroom teacher, Miss Fujimura. Hey, Taiga. I made it. Good morning, And thud. Miss Fujimura trips, falling painfully onto the floor. As she lands, her head strikes in the corner of the platform at the front of the classroom. The classroom goes dead silent. Every student's attention is focused on the same thing. Again. How'd she manage to trip in the same place every time? Look, at this point, I mean, I think it's evidently clear that Fujimura is just naturally a klutz. Y'all thought I was about to say this is just an act and she's just intentionally doing this. No, she's just naturally a klutz. You're right. She isn't moving. Did she get knocked out or something? A few brave students get out of their seats and crowd around the still comatose Fujimura. Hey, Miss Fujimura. Miss Fujimura? Are you okay? What's wrong, everyone? Hey, class is about to start, so go back to your seats proper. Miss Fujimura jumps to her feet as if nothing had happened. I understand I'm slurring my words and whatnot. I'm very tired. Hey, you might wonder, why the fuck did you even bother streaming the game so that I could actually take the edge off? Cut me a fucking break. It's almost as if the memory of her sudden, violent trip to the floor was totally erased. As this happens all the time, no one seems to notice or care enough to say anything. No one gives a thought to how odd it is for this to happen every single day. Midday. The scene playing out before me seems to never change from day to day. The same exact lessons, the exact same subject, the exact same content. Today we're going to study the biography of Dr. Peaceman, a talented physician who... Tig... Miss Fujimura is conducting class today. This is conducting class today the same way she does every day. You may not know, but when I was young, an unknown pathogen was the cause of a serious epidemic. In fact, outbreaks were common, but now most illnesses are cured using nano-thingamajigs. And FYI, I'm still young. This will be on the test, so be sure you don't forget it. I mean it. Her ensuring laughter stopped short at her eyes, which seemed deadly serious. Just as everyone is about to call Fujimura out, the bell signaling the end of the class rings. Alright, that's all for today. Be sure to study hard tonight, and don't forget those important points I told you about. While today's class wasn't all that boring, it is a relief when the bell rings. As the bell signaling the end of the day sounds, students begin to break off into small groups. Thank God that's over. I was getting sick of all the busy work. Being a student sucks. The worst part of the whole deal is having to attend those stupid classes. You're still here? That's unusual. Don't you have any plans, like a date or something? I'm just messing with you. I know you're too big of a nerd to ever get a date. I mean, you're just going to your the journalism club, right? Seeing as you're boring and stale white bread, your life is exactly as it should be. You know exactly what your role is in life is, and you stay there. Well, catch you later. See you in class tomorrow. Look who's here. It's the newspaper club's ace. Got any leads? What? Did you just forget? You have to write in Unsolved Mysteries of Tsukimihara's article. Come on, I told you yesterday. There isn't very much time left before the deadline. Well, whatever. Your work's always good, so I'll leave this in your capable hands. Jeez, my benevolence is like a Black Panther running around. Yes, that doesn't make sense. So that's that. I've done some of the investigating. It's your job to do the rest. Don't look so surprised. There's a method to my madness. Okay, so about the first preview edition, the one called Gateway to the Paranormal. So listen, there's supposedly an interest in the spirit world at the rear of the archery range. One time, a male student who got bullied a lot was told to pick up trash there, and vanished. Everyone's totally convinced that there's paranormal activity going on back there. Isn't that scary? I mean, ridiculous? Anyway, go sniff out the truth. Leave no stone unturned. Your nose and eyes are the tools to trade for the journalist. Got it? You're the mysterious one. Your reply should be yes, ma'am. Alright, off to it. Yeah, so this game's introduction takes a bit, but one, that is a common trait of a lot of RPGs. And two, at the very least I get to do stuff in this. It's like, what, going on less than 15 minutes and I'm actually walking around still talking to people and everything. So yeah, I would say that, that slow burn is, warranted. Hey, Sakura. Oh, it's you, brother. I heard that you've been skipping on the archery club's morning practices lately. Why haven't you been showing up? And where do you get off taking a break without my say-so? I get it now. You've been going to their house again, haven't you? Yeah, I've been going there. I just wanted to help, and... Let me guess, you felt you were obligated to, right? Jeez, why must you be so damn naive? Wait a sec. Was that just... What was that just now? Anyway, if someone gets hurt, just leave them to be. Just do what I tell you to and things will be a-okay. I mean... It seems like people get thrill from some kind of perverse... People get some kind of perverse thrill from getting in my way. To force one of my dear little sister to miss valuable practice time. That's not how it was at all. I wasn't forced to do anything. I wanted to help. Why don't you... Why is it so wrong to help those who need it? Isn't it only fools and the weak who manage to get themselves hurt somehow? And why help anybody out? Will that person ever pay you back or help in return? Of course they won't. And if you think otherwise, you're an idiot. I won't be used by anyone. It's better to treat others as cattle. And isn't it time for you to admit to feeling the same way? But for me, that option... Stop right there. I don't care what you have to say. Stop going to that house, Sakura. Got it? Hey, Sakura. Oh, I mean, hi. Can I help you with anything? If you ever start feeling unwell, please come by the nurse's office. The Academy's garden is up ahead. It looks like it's under renovation, so only those involved in the process are allowed to go in. You know, for a game that was on the PlayStation Portable, it doesn't really look all too bad. Cafeteria is just up ahead. It looks like they're still getting ready. Out of the blue, a feeling that something was moving behind the door overcame me. As a rule, students are allowed inside the supply room. Might just be a rat or something. For unknown reason, I find my eyes drawn to the door of the supply room when the door is suddenly and violently thrown open. And just what do you think you're doing? Without warning. Whoops. Without warning, a man appears from out of the shadows. Dressed in black with a dour expression, the person in question is very intimidating. But that sense of intimidation is immediately replaced with extreme discomfort and unease. A sudden, overwhelming sense of danger gives me goosebumps all over my body. His cold, blank stare sends chills down my spine, as though he's marking me for death. For some reason, it feels as if he's deciding whether to break my neck or skin me alive. Not gonna lie. Wood. Odd. Your name doesn't appear to be on the list, but I had better make sure. He begins to mutter under his breath while at the same time he reaches out with his right hand. Chills running down my spine gain intensity as waves of nausea and vertigo wash over me. I feel like a rabbit watching the wolf draw near. Maybe this isn't just raw terror. I think it's holding something that's making me feel this way. You're not even trying to fight. My instincts are sharp as they should be. I need to relax. The note of disgust in his voice is as obvious as he slowly lowers his hand. The paralysis that seemed to take hold of me suddenly fades away. The man continues to look down on me with those dead eyes of his. Students are forbidden from entering the supply room. You do well to remember that. The campus is about to close. If you have nothing else to do, I advise you go home now. Is there anything else? My name is Mr. Kuzuki. I'll be teaching here starting today. The man who introduces himself as Mr. Kuzuki turns around and heads back into the supply room. With that, the final bell begins to chime, signaling the end of the school day. Everything begins to process as normal, as if nothing out of the ordinary had happened. But I'm still sore and slicked with sweat. An all too real reminder of what happened. Wonderful. We now even have a teacher with obvious murderous intent teaching our school. Just want to double check everywhere. Have you noticed how that girl in the nurse's office wears long sleeves in the summer? Yeah, she's always wearing that long jacket. Could it be because her older brother bullies her? Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, Shinji's a complete nerd fucking asshole. Yeah. Yeah, for like over what 13 years ago, this game actually doesn't look all too bad. Yeah, it's noticeably dated, but at the same time, like, I mean, you could obviously do worse. Hey, Tiger. You caught me in the middle of cleaning. Those archery club kids don't even unstring their bows. The worst is when they leave their arrows stuck in the target mount. I usually make the kids do it, but there's no club activities leading up to exams. So I'm doing it. Huh? An entrance to Spirit World? That's just a rumor, it's not real. Exams are right around the corner, so don't waste your time on stuff like that. Go home. Shoo, shoo! What appears in the archer range isn't an entrance to the Spirit World, but Miss Fujimura. Well, I guess it's a surprise she's behind one of Sugimihara's mysteries. It's fitting. I'll report this tomorrow, so I can go home if I want. A day will pass if you go home. I think I'll poke around the campus a little longer. The one thing I remember most not liking about this game is that grinding was an absolute fucking bitch. And I mean that, like, you only get a couple of days in-game time to do it, and there's not really a lot of enemies to do it with. And on top of that, like, the bosses are, like, incredibly overpowered and leveled as a result. I don't know. It's been a long time since I've really played this game, so maybe how I was doing it was wrong. But got 2 more days. As I walk into class, the girls that normally flock around Shinji aren't there. Shinji seems to be in a bad mood today. His usual posse of girls is keeping their distance. I'll ask him if something happened. What? I could tell you if anything happened to me. Which it didn't. Nothing happened at all. And you know the Ice Queen Rin Tosaka? She thinks she's so much better than everyone else. At first I thought she would be the only one who understood how lonely it is at the top. I tried talking to her yesterday, but I got nowhere. Maybe I just intimidated her or something. I might have lost a few points for getting violent, but girls who talk back to me get slapped. He's just gonna... He's just gonna brush by the fact that a girl wouldn't talk to him, so he slapped the shit out of her. And then he just tried to ignore... And then she just, like, tried to still get with her, but... She just ended up continuously ignoring him. It's like, I'll never hook up with such a violent, stuck-up bitch like that, no matter how hot she is. Oh, wow, he's like a modern-day incel. What a waste. It'd be perfect if she just kept her mouth shut. You agree with me, right? It's like there's some tension between Shinji and Rin Tosaka. Knowing Shinji, you probably got hit on her and got shot down. And why'd she take a shot at me? I thought she was going to spinning star kick me next. He continues to whine under his breath. I can only imagine how sleazy Shinji was being with her. Normally a super aggressive approach works, but obviously it doesn't with Rin Tosaka. It's more interesting when it's got a little more shakeups like this. As if right on cue, Miss Fujimura barges into the classroom as the bell stands. I made it. Good morning, everyone. Alright, no one's absent, and since there are no announcements, let's just start homeroom. And on cue. As soon as she turns to reach for the chalk, she trips and falls as she always does. As she falls, her fingernails drag across the blackboard with a horrifying sound. And thus another typically Monday day begins anew. And though the Great War had finally come to an end, regional conflicts still persist. Despite the suffering of the previous generation, battles are still waged 30 years onward. Standing behind the lectern today is the school's newest teacher, Kuzuki. Although he's supposed to be teaching math, his lessons seem to have gone off on a tangent. Now, instead of armies, attacks in even greater numbers are being carried out by terrorism. In an attempt to suppress these terrorist groups, with that, the bell signaling the end of the class sounds. And with the end of the day here, the tension in the classroom drops immediately. Alright, let us end here today. Oh yes, before I get, there is an announcement from the student counselor. Recently, a rise in the number of slashing incidents has made the surrounding area dangerous. With that in mind, keep any detours to a minimum and head home as quickly as possible. Go home quickly? Good advice. On the level of do not touch Willy. Good advice! But I still have to finish a few assignments for the journalism club. I'm so gung-ho about investigating the school's 7 wonders is a mystery even to me, but it seems important for some reason. I have to turn in yesterday's report. I better go see the editor-in-chief this morning. And guess what? I passed this gorgeous girl on the stairs. Could she be a new student? What? I'm sure you're just talking about Rin Tosaka from Class B. Rin Tosaka? Never heard of her. You've never really heard of her? Pretty, athletic, smart, classy? Or stuck-up Miss Perfect who all the guys adore and all the girls despise? It wouldn't be unrealistic to call Rin Tosaka most popular girl in the whole school. Are you pulling my leg? Girl, you're so dense, you probably wouldn't feel it if I pulled your leg anyway. What? I'm not dense. Much. But she wasn't wearing her school uniform. She was wearing red. How do you explain that? I don't know. I hadn't noticed. Huh? Maybe I'm remembering wrong. You would. Come on, let's hurry to our club. Yeah. Oh, our club's ace. Did you find out anything yesterday? Interesting. So it was Tiger. Of course, there's no interest in the spirit world. Thanks to you, the article will be great. You ready for the next school assignment? Next unsolved mystery is, yesterday was a girl dressed in red on the rooftop. Rumors about Little Red Rooftop are spreading. Go find out what this is all about. A journalist lets the news guys to their feet. To the rooftop. I turn the door knob and the metal door opens silently on its hinges. As a rule, no one is allowed up on the roof, but I can see someone's elongated shadow. The vibrant colors set off by the setting of the sun is enough to take one's breath away. Also, can I just say the music for this game, I guess especially on the PSP, like, it's actually pretty good. Like, I don't know if anyone's noticed, but there are some actual themes, like some of the battle themes that I actually took for some of my streams. Like, they're really good. Under now the blood-red sky, a single girl looks out onto the town that spreads out below. A figure out of a painting? Like a figure out of a painting, the girl seems to shine with the same red glow as the setting sun. Again, that detail, especially for the PlayStation Portable, isn't actually all too bad. If they're gonna be remaking this, I wonder how it's gonna look in the new age. I can only imagine how captivating this sight must be for the people who live here. It is indeed a very beautiful scene. Shame that it doesn't really exist. Yeah, so I think contextually speaking, I don't remember if this was actually mentioned, but contextually speaking, especially since they actually basically showed it in Fate Last Encore. Yeah, they're on the moon. On the surface, it seems like such a benign, peaceful world. A pity that will soon come to an end. This place is merely an idealized imitation of the real world, and one done in poor taste. I wonder if there's any value to a memory that can only be observed and left behind. I'm not quite sure if that last statement was supposed to express disgust or disappointment. As she finishes speaking, a faint smile forms on the girl's lips as she slowly turns in my direction. Her unwavering gaze makes it seem like she can see things hidden to others. Her eyes seem to shine with an intensity that rivals that of the fiery red of the evening sky. What's this? A notice from the system? Thanks for bringing it to me. That's not it. That means you must be one of the generic... students. Yeah. They're giving it away that very much this whole thing is a simulation. If one of the irrelevant NPCs can get up here, I guess I'll have to find another place to hang. Continuing to mumble quietly to herself, the girl quickly walks my way. Oh well, this is a good opportunity for me to look one of you over. Stand still, you. Unexpectedly, your finger reaches out and touches my cheek. Wait, what's this? Is this a warning from the system? Direct interference does break the rules, after all. Mumbling to her, the girl disappears without a trace. It's like no one was there at all. She vanished? There or not, her form has been indelibly burned into my mind. Oh, you're still here. It's almost time to leave school, so you should prepare to go home. What's wrong? You look a little pale. The sound of Issei's voice pulls me back to reality. I must look completely dazed and confused. Maybe I'm tired, or... I'll talk with the editor chief again tomorrow. In any case, I think the course wisdom for now would be to go home like Issei says. A day will pass if I leave campus. No, I should probably look around the campus a little more. If I want to leave, I should head out through the main gate. That's weird. Why won't it open? What, you haven't left yet? Wait, don't tell me. Nah, never mind. This is like you shouldn't be on campus right now. Who knows? You might get whacked by that killer. And don't say I didn't warn you. Killer? You're in the newspaper club and you don't know? Someone's been attacking students after school. A weak little drone like you'd get dropped in one hit. You better leave now. Yeah. I just think the thing about a game like this is like this. For some strange reason, I feel like there's a door here. What do you want? Yeah, like little details like that, if you explore, you actually get like some level of foreshadowing of what's to come. I entered the classroom. Once again, Shinji Mato in the seat next to me is a full house. I'm telling you, you don't have any talent. Give up before you look like a retard. What? So you know what he said to that? What? What did he say? We're dying to know. Tell us. This Woods gets all boo-hoo and he says, I'll keep practicing until I get better. I can at least get better than you who skips practice. Sorry, I had to laugh. Anybody who knows that you can't practice your way into being a genius. By the way, if people are mad of a game writing that a hateable asshole character is using the word retard, just know that you're supposed to hate him. If he wants to practice something, he should practice not sounding like a tool. The guy's a total maggot. Almost. He's almost played tricks on me. There's one word I thought they were about to use to, like, fully cement him as hateable. And I think people know what I'm talking about. A word... to quote Rush Hour, with a word that means cat and a word that rhymes with maggot. But to find out that he's still trash needs... But he's still trash that needs to find a garbage can. Moron. People aren't created equal. Even people who are born above average can reach the same heights as naturally gifted. Can never reach the same heights. You must be so talented if you don't need to practice, Mato. I feel bad for that kid. On one hand, I kind of feel like they're just sticking around him and being sarcastic, honestly. But on the other hand, like, again, this is basically just a fucking simulation. Trash can't help being trash. It should learn to stop dreaming about being something better. The bell rings. While we wait for the teacher to arrive, I get caught up on what Shinji said for some reason. Whether or not Shinji has innate talent, I think it's pretty clear that I'm a nobody. A nobody with no goals. I mean, when I try to even think about the future, I get overwhelmed. As long as I keep plodding along, someday I'll eventually reach my totally average future. Yay. That's what happens to everyone, right? Are there actually people who actually break the pattern? How? I have no idea. Today is just an ordinary day. Good morning, everyone. Suddenly, my heart accelerates. Each beat painfully strong. It's as if my body's on high alert. Notice how Taiga didn't actually trip and fall. That's odd. I know it's not a reaction to Miss Fujimura. No. Well, kids, this is a little out of the blue, but today I want to introduce you to a new friend. It's him. The blonde boy is the one who's causing my body's fight or flight instincts to prickle. Go on, Leo. Introduce yourself. For what purpose? Huh? Well, Leo, you'll be attending school with these people, so I'm sure they'd like to know who you are. I see. These good people don't know my name yet. He steps forward and then in a louder voice says, "Everyone, my name is Leonardo Bistardo Haraway. In time, my name will be known to all the world, but for now, it is the name of your classmate. I'm pleased to meet you all. I hope we enjoy our time together." The classroom is silent. There aren't even jabs in his eccentric manner of speaking or any coos over how pretty he is. Instead, the entire classroom is enthralled by his regal bearing. Entranced, even. Shinji's words come to mind. This is what it means to be on a different level. None of us plebes could ever hope to reach the level that this new kid lives on. It's not overextending to call his very existence transfixing. Like deer in headlights, we're immobilized by a presence far brighter than our own. His natural place is above us, looking down as our king. How did someone like him end up here? Must be a mistake. Anyway, everyone, please make Leo feel welcome. And Leo, if you would please take a seat. It looks like that third seat in the second row from the right is open. Would that be okay? Leo. You're addressing me. I see no reason to not allow you to call me Leo. As it didn't feel awkward to hear from you. If you have the chance, I'd very much like for a delightful woman like you to visit my country. What? Jeez, don't joke with your teacher. To your seat, Leo. I won't smack you since... Well, it was kind of flattering to hear you say that. Of course. I appreciate your diplomacy, Miss Fujimura. And the boy gave the kind of easy smile that only kids can. That simple smile washes away the tension in the room, and people even begin to smile themselves. I think he's not so much of a king as a prince. He may be above us, but he also has that natural charisma that draws us up to his level. However, it seems that there is at least one person in class whose mileage varies. I don't like him. Flirting with a teacher already? That arrogant little twerp. I mean, he is pretty cute. Shinji's clearly not happy. If you have any questions, ask anyone in the class or myself. Come to me first. There's no need to be shy. Yes, I understand. I'm pleased that I will be attending such a good school. Am I imagining things? Just for a second, I thought he shifted his attention towards me. Not towards anyone else. Not even Shinji, who's still bad-mouthing Leo, but to me alone. Yeah, right. There's no way a practically outwardly person like him would notice bland old me. Straight to evening. School day ended with nothing else of interest occurring. But that Leo. I can't shake the uneasiness he woke in my heart. It feels like cogs somewhere have become misaligned. And I'm just excited for once something happened. So that's what happened yesterday. I should report yesterday's findings to the editor-in-chief. Oh, our club's ace. Did you find anything yesterday? What? Lower rooftop vanished before your eyes? She disappeared. There isn't anything we can do about that. Nothing we can do? What's with the editor-in-chief reaction? It's not right. I thought you'd say something like, "Hey, don't scare me like that." Actually, the problematic part is how nonchalant she is that a person disappeared. Your next story will be The Mystery of the Courtyard Chapel. The editor-in-chief keeps talking like nothing happened. He's already on to the next thing. Should I say something? Hey, do you know there's a chapel on campus even though this isn't a mission school? It seems the chapel has been here longer than the school. This is just a rumor, but they say that it's performed haunted and magic rites are performed there. I'm sending you to investigate. The entrance to this courtyard is on the end of the first right side of the first floor hallway. And there's Kuzuki. By any stretch of the imagination. The sick malignancy of overbearing aggression fills the air. and then scattered around him are dead bodies of students? Why did you come in here? I'm certain I'll lock that door. I suppose I'll test you out. His thin lips hardly moved, but in the next instant, I'm bowled over, as if struck by an invisible force. Chaotic thoughts bury my brain like endless grains of sand. What happened? Can I move my limbs? Seriously, what was that? Kuzuki hasn't moved. No one else is nearby. Who? Why? How? My thoughts whirl. My heart races. I see what you are now. It isn't you, I suppose. His voice is a quiet hiss, but I could hear everything he said. This man with cold, inscrutable eyes raises his palm towards me. When I came to, I'm collapsed in the garden. The garden is silent. There's not even a trace of Kuzuki or the corpses that have been here. I'm uninjured, though my body aches from laying on the hard ground. The cold sweat that had covered me is gone too. Only the piercing pain in my head remains. Maybe it was just a bad dream. I go bare and attempt to stand. The ground seems to move under my feet. I'm delusional. Of course the ground isn't moving. I'll give my report to the Air Chief tomorrow and just go home for today. When I enter the classroom this time, things are a bit different. Wow! Okay, so then how do you solve this problem, Leo? Well, in this case, you substitute this for this and divide everything for x. It's the same simple equation that you used earlier. Oh, you're right. Thank you, Leo. Unlike someone else, he helps out his classmates without displaying an ounce of condensation. And that someone is directing a nasty scowl towards the new kid. That bunch of brown-nosing idiots will suck up to anyone who's got bigger pea brains than theirs. Whatever. There's no skin off my back. People who are ugly inside are ugly inside, too. Seems that Shinji's gaggle of female admirers has migrated to Leo's desk. For once, Shinji's irritation is kind of understandable. I'll give him this. The brat is a real charity worker, laying on the charm for those sows. He's desperate to appear smarter than me, but I'm the real smart one here. I see what he's doing. That dumb little kid doesn't even know that I'm onto him. Reacting to Shinji's voice, Leo glances this way. Leo's expression is inscrutable, but not hostile. What do you want? You want to go? After a few false starts, Shinji finally manages to squeeze that out of his in a low voice. I don't know if Leo heard, but he gets out of his seat. The recoil turns into a noticeable flinch, which Leo smiles kindly at in response. Unlike Shinji's, Leo's gestures are filled with dignity. If I have unknowingly given you the cause to be malicious, I would like to deeply apologize. Shinji Mata, was it? I'll be careful not to upset you in the future. His message firmly delivered, Leo returns to his seat. His soft voice bore no note of hostility or resentment. I know it's hard to believe, but Leo wasn't upset. He knows when to bow down to true authority, it seems. I'm such a nice guy, I'll just accept his apology. Yeah, it's not like he ever pissed me off. After visually confirming that Leo is otherwise occupied, Shinji feigns calmness and leans back. Mayday, good morning, And she's back to tripping. The sound makes me cringe no matter how many times I hear it. Everyone's just sensitized to it for the most part. Even knowing that she'll jump to her feet in a few seconds, we should probably worry more. Shinji still seems to be in a bad mood. It's obvious that he doesn't like Leo all that much. But with him, it's impossible to tell if he's really mad or just being cynical. Either way, it's just more of all the same. Just like our homeroom teachers, daily dramatic entrance. Once again, the day begins. Alrighty then, let's pick up where we left off. According to Mr. Peaceman's biography, during class I thought I saw Leo smirk a little, but other than that, nothing exciting occurred. Today is just another boring day in a long string of boring days. Who knows what hero amnesia is? It's a terrifying condition where an individual loses all of their memories. It's caused by brain damage, severe trauma, or even infectious of one's mucous membranes. Sections of the doctor's biography we just covered touches on this condition. The cure for such a scary condition was discovered by Mr. Peaceman. With that said, using amnesia as an excuse for forgetting your homework isn't going to fly. When I was young, a fair number of my classmates were unscrupulous enough to try this. Now, before you get any ideas, I'm still young. In fact, I'm putting that fact on the test, too. As for the norm, Tiger's lecture starts to peter out. Just as the collective this again starts to rise from the students. Mr. Fujimura. Without being acknowledged by his teacher, Leo suddenly rises to his feet. His tension in the classroom ratchets up immediately as all eyes focus on Leo. The young boy surveys the room with a mysterious smile, taking in everyone's startled glances. Oh, and of course my fellow classmates. It is time for me to leave. We'll probably never meet again, so I wish you all well. Yeah, this is where things really start to kick it in a high gear and the plot actually starts to get moving. What's the... my head. The pain. Before I forget, Miss Fujimura, I think you are still young even now. Just your presence is enough to remind me of the beauty of youth. You're a remarkable person. After what seemed to be a very slight bow, he immediately seems to disappear from the room. Uh-huh. Alright then, let's continue. Please turn to page 86. And accompanied by the sound of flipping pages, the lesson goes on as if nothing had happened. Showing off like that in the middle of class. What a jackass. If you had to use the John, be a little more discreet. And that I have to leave crap. Seriously, isn't he supposed to be some kind of aristocrat or princeling or something? Of course, what just happened is impossible. Highly suspicious disappearance in the middle of class and the teacher doesn't seem to care. No one in class says anything and the class continues as if nothing strange has happened. It was the same dull, dreary scene as yesterday. And the day before. This can't be natural. After Leo's exit from class, the lesson continues unabated, as if following a set script. Strange. This is definitely strange. It's as if the world tilted with slightly and everything within it is losing its sense of presence. My head feels like it's going to explode. This pain's making it hard to remember who I am. Wait, come to think of it, I mean, really, who am I? What is my name? How old am I? Where do I live? How many people are in my family? What was my life like before I started attending this school? I can't remember anything. My memory has been completely erased somehow. How and why did this happen? That's right. The editor-in-chief of the Journalism Club. As the president of the Journalism Club, she should at least know my name. I know I had to have filled out something when I first joined the club. I'll ask her. Hopefully she'll be in her normal spot. Yeah. Oh, our club's ace. Did you find out anything yesterday? The editor-in-chief is her usual cheery self. All I can think about is the pile of dead bodies I witnessed. No, I have to ask her by myself. I'll ask her what my name is. Huh? Your name? Just look it up in the registry from the library. Yeah, the school's registry. It has everyone's names. If I look at the school registry, it might jog my memories. I'll go to the library. I found it. So give me Hada Academy student registry. Once I read through this, I should be able to remember everything about myself. I open the book and begin turning pages. Immediately, I notice something's terribly wrong. The pages are blank. Blank, blank, blank. Every single page was blank. I reach for last year's school registry, and when I start flipping through the pages, blank, 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 blank. What is happening here? Who am I? And just, what is this place? Yeah, I just look around, there's no one in here. Not even someone at the front desk. Oh, look at that. More students are gone. What's with Leo all of a sudden? But after seeing all of that, I've had enough of this. My headache has got for terrible to worse. I'm freaked out. Before we do that, just want to double check. Thought so. There's something wrong with this place. But more worrying is the fact that I can't remember who I am. As I wander the campus, I see Leo walking down a hallway on the first floor. As a transfer student, I can't see why Leo would want to visit any of the freshmen. Also, there's nothing but a dead end up ahead. I wonder what Leo is really up to. I suddenly have this weird feeling that someone or something is up about in the hallway. For some reason, it's examining all the wall at the end of the hallway with almost excessive interest. The attention to detail is quite impressive. Even the surrounding air is surprisingly substantial. If that's the case, this world is in some ways more real than the real world it represents. That's just my opinion. How about you guys? What are your thoughts on this? In a moment, it feels like my heart skips a beat. Notice how he said guys, plural. Almost immediately, my blood pressure skyrockets along with my body temperature. Ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. My pulse is like an explosion in my ears as my blood races through my veins, and the reason is clear. Now Leo, has turned to face me. Now I know for sure he's talking to me as if there's nobody else present besides the two of us. Greetings. I believe this is the first time we've actually had an actual conversation. I don't feel any sense of hostility from Leo. In fact, his smile seems genuinely friendly. His smile has the same effect as me as the rising of the morning sun, warm and comforting. In addition to his smile, his presence is inviting and inclusive, and I find myself drawn to him. Oddly, my worries have vanished. All I can think of is doing as he says. That's the only way to... My mind feels like it's in a haze. It's like Leo is controlling my thoughts in some way. Attending school wasn't half bad. I never got the opportunity to go to one before now. In that respect, this has been quite an interesting experience. However, the time for fun has come to an end. I did not come here to play at being a student. No matter how enjoyable the detour, eventually one must return to their appointed. And for me, time to do so has arrived. With those final words, Leo turns his back on me. Farewell? No, that's not quite right. I don't think farewell will be accurate in this situation. For reasons I cannot explain, I have the distinct feeling that we will see each other again. So I guess I should use the more cognital see you later. Well, it's time for me to move on. I wish you the best of luck. At those final words, Leo disappears. It's like he ceases to exist. One moment his hand is on the wall, the next he's gone. The young man in front of me seems to disappear before my very eyes. I want to say reality rejected his existence in it, but it feels like it was the opposite, that he refused to be constrained by it. It wasn't any special ability that allowed him to do so, it was just his strength of will. With his departure, I feel as if a great weight is lifted from my very being. And rather than being a cause for concern, it brings a fundamental question to my mind. Who am I? As the question pops into my head, it begins to take a life of its own, searing my brain. I investigate the wall that Leo disappeared through. It's just a concrete wall at the end of the hallway. About the only thing on the floor is dust. But I'm positive that there must be something here, because Leo walked through the wall. It would be so easy to turn around, go back down the hallway and pretend nothing happened. But there are still things I need to know. I have no memories. That means I never had anywhere but to go but here. No place to return to. What was it that Leo said? No matter how enjoyable the detour, eventually one must return to their appointed path. That's what he said, isn't he? Then beyond this wall lies the appointed path and the truth. If I follow him, I'll learn the answers to my questions, even if those answers are painful. But ignorance is bliss. Do I have the fortitude to face the truth and accept it? First genuine multiple choice answers. We could just walk away and pretend this never happened, or we can just press on no matter what happens. Something's different. Down to the floors and the walls, the school has changed its very substance of its being. For some reason, the reality cracking this way is intensely disturbing. This world around me is more real than a painting, but not even as real as a sandcastle. I feel like it's so brittle I could tap it and the echo would shake this whole world. Where the boring concrete wall stood, now there's a doorway that I could freely walk through. It's an entrance. No, an emergency exit, like stairs to the outside. It's not something of this world. I have no doubt that the world the door leads to is an utterly alien. Whatever waits aside, whatever shape it takes, there's a certain sort of finality to seeing it. Ultimately, I've already committed to this path. I bid farewell to the false world and take my first step along the appointed path. Beyond the door seems to be a dismal-looking scrapyard. In front of me is the smooth-skinned effigy. We're trying to figure out what exactly to do with it. Welcome, potential master. A voice comes out of nowhere. That effigy with you is your sword and shield for what lies ahead. It will move in response to your command. Now then, please proceed. The truth that you seek lies ahead. The motivations of the owner of that voice worries me, but it's obvious I won't learn anything by standing here. Also, there is no longer a path by which I can return. I have no choice but to head into the darkness with only the strange doll as protection. I made it. Within the deepest depths of the world beyond the door. This place must be the goal I'm supposed to research. At least that's what I thought. It's stifling. The aura of purity that seems to act as a ward against corrupted souls who try to enter. The feeling is familiar. As the feeling of a chapel where the spirits of the deceased still linger. It almost looks like the garden. Wonder why that might be. At first I didn't notice, being overwhelmed by the grandeur of the room. But to one side is a young man in a familiar uniform, lying still on the ground. I call out to him, but there is no reply. I shake him in an attempt to wake up when I notice he is stone cold. I go as pale as the corpse before me, and I can no longer think coherently. All I can do is stare in bewilderment. It is at this moment. The fallen effigy lying next to the male student comes to his feet with a clatter. Before I get a chance to make sense of what's going on, it suddenly twists around and comes right at me. Well, that was a fun scripted fight. You seem to be lacking as well. I didn't stand a chance against that thing. Seems I wasn't qualified to be here. Me? Qualifications? That's right. I should know everything by now. The truth has to be here. But now... everything's going dark. I'm not even really scared. The only feeling that remains in me is regret. Even at the very end, I was unable to remember anything about myself. Someone. Anyone. If you make it here, please don't forget my name. So yeah, that was just the cold open prologue. The real game starts here. Welcome to Fate Extra. His story has ended. But what about yours? Before you write down your own story, choose the vessel of your power. So, what this is doing is essentially, it becomes apparent, but what this is doing is essentially going, hey, what servant do you want? Because this is fate. So, a woman who wields a sword boldly, this is Saber or Nero Claudius. A stoic warrior clothed in red robes, this is Archer or Shiro Emiya. A magical fox girl, that's Caster, and that's the special one. Like, she hasn't actually gotten her own anime. She hasn't gotten her own anime inclusion, I think. Yes. Yeah, because in the last Encore, they went with Nero. I always awaken very abruptly. I don't even think about it. I don't even think I dream. I suddenly find myself walking to school. My headache worsens every day until it finally buzzes in my head like an alarm. That day, impotent numbness, I wake up twice as fast as normal. I walk to the schoolyard. It's clear and cloudless, 7:30 a.m. But what season is it? When I try to recall what season it is, I start to get so dizzy I almost pass out. I may wind up back in bed if I don't let go and faint. For some time, I have been embracing a rush of useless information. The normal stuff you'd see at a school, like the hustle and bustle of my classmates by the entrance. It hasn't changed. It hasn't changed. When I put the thought, my field of vision fuzzies. Today, there's a crowd of students milling in front of the school gate. More and more I'm being directed that way. As to what's going on, there's a boy in the black uniform in front of my school gate. He's my friend, as I recall. He's Issei Ryoto, as I recall. I remember this from the first time. When Issei notices me looking at him, he pushes through the crowd. Good morning. Lovely weather we're having, don't you think? Why do you look so surprised? We announced last week's assembly that this month the student council would strictly enforce school rules. He runs through his spiel as if this was the first time we'd ever disclosed information. I already know this. I know it. I already know what happens. It's happened more than once. I'm seized by a headache. I'm so dizzy I feel like I'm being forcefully logged out of my consciousness. First, let me check your student ID. I shouldn't need to remind you, but it should be on you at all times. My login ID is being checked. It's so obvious now. I answered clearly to the question that usually makes me go dizzy. Well, I'm gonna have to go with the girl. Yoko? Go. There we go. Right. There's no telling when an emergency might occur, and it will be a help if you have your ID. I feel nauseous, and I know it has nothing to do with what I ate for breakfast this morning. I feel nauseous because of the world around me. It's repeating itself over and over, and that's making me sick. Now for the uniform inspection. Collar check, pant hems check, and your socks check. I wanted to get out of my way. I want this repetition to stop. I push him aside and go forward. I'm not nice about it either. Next is the contents of your bag. Notebooks, textbooks, pencil box, even a witch of Contrable. Your nails are evenly cut and your haircut is sensible. They're really laying it thick now that pretty much all these characters are just simulation. They're just NPCs. Indeed, quite remarkable. You're a model Tsukimihara Academy student. He keeps on talking loudly even though he's facing no one. I have a headache. I'm shivering. I know one thing for sure. This is wrong. This is not the school I know. It can't be. I have to go. I have to hurry and wake up, or else it'll be too late. But who am I awakening for? My anxiety and headaches are only getting worse. Afternoon rise while I desperately try to find a way to escape this bizarre situation. As is now the norm, my vision is overlaid with some kind of unnatural distortion. Uneasiness, futility, emptiness. I want someone to explain to me the true nature behind all those feelings. There must be a key somewhere, something that will have the answers to all my questions. The moment I step foot on the first floor, my feelings of unease intensify. There's a student wearing a red uniform, Leo, the new transfer student. The instant I lay eyes on him, I immediately feel intimidated and humiliated. There's also someone trailing behind him. Looks like one of my classmates? The more I think, the more I realize that Leo isn't the only anomaly I've come across while on campus. There are other things that seem off as well. It's becoming clearer now. There are people who shouldn't exist. Students have mysteriously vanished. The fabric of reality is becoming unraveled. What is the truth? What defines the world you know? Don't turn away now. There's a reason why you're here. Come. Do not allow yourself to close your eyes to the truth. Leo and one of the guys from my class are talking in the hallway up ahead. The attention to the detail is quite impressive. Even the surrounding air is surprisingly substantial. If that is the case, this world is in some ways more real than the real world it represents. How about you guys? What are your thoughts on this? And now we've come full circle. You guys? For a moment, it feels as if he's including me in this comment. However, Leo begins speaking to my classmate, seemingly oblivious to my presence. Greetings. I believe this is the first time we've had an actual conversation. Leo gives me a smile with no hostility. However, I have the suspicion that there's something malicious behind his smile. Attending school wasn't half bad. I never had the opportunity to go to one before now. In that respect, this has been quite an interesting experience. However, the time for fun has come to an end. I did not come here to play at being a student. No matter how enjoyable the duty were, eventually one must return to their appointed plot. As for me, the time has come to do so has arrived. With those final words, Leo turned his back on me. Farewell. No, that's not quite right. I don't think farewell would be accurate in this situation. For reasons I cannot explain, I have the distinct feeling that we will see each other again. So I guess I should use the congenial see you later. Well, it's time for me to move on. I wish you the best of luck. Leo said as much, even going so far as to look in my direction. For some inexplicable reason, I'm not surprised that Leo knew I was spying on him. I'm trying to get things straightened out in my mind when suddenly Leo disappears. A student who is following him also disappears after touching the same spot on the wall. At the same moment he vanishes, my vision starts to distort, and the shock threatens to overwhelm me. What is going on here? I wonder if this place is the source of my unease. I really like how this game's beginning, like the prologue, ties more into like the story, and instead of like having you go through the entire hour-long session of just the same stuff, no, it gets through this and breaks the cycle as if pretty much yeah, this has been an ongoing cycle and it's never ended. It's basically like Endless 8, except it's not an entire fucking troll. Like him, I place my hand on the wall expecting to be drawn in. I see now that the way to the truth to why I have these feelings begins right here. The atmosphere changes. There's a doorway, an entrance, where the concrete wall used to be. It's not something of this world. There's no doubt the door leads to someplace unfathomable. I also like how both for the NPC route and the main character route, like, they give you also options to go, I want to know or I don't want to know either. I bid farewell to the false world and take my first step towards the truth. Another mannequin. An entrance to the inner world. Beyond this door, the previous statement perfectly describes the view before me. Walking behind me is my strange silent attendant. It is to be my sword and shield for what lies ahead. A disembodied voice suddenly confirms my thoughts. Although I have yet to learn anything, I need to do something besides stand there. At the very least, there might be some clues to this bizarre experience up ahead. I have no choice but to head into the darkness with only this strange doll as protection. And instead of going straight to the chapel, look at all the pretty lights. No longer a typical school campus. The floors and walls, the air, even the aura are slightly off. Wouldn't surprise me to see a monster pop up from the shadows. It's very much like a dungeon here. Welcome, potential master. With a shocking suddenness, a voice begins speaking. It sounds like it's coming from the empty sky above. If you are looking for answers, you must reach the goal. Now please step forward. The illuminated cube in front of you is called an item folder. Inside of it is a farewell present of sorts for those about to face the coming trial. Touch to attain it. Ether shard. Yeah, it's just an item box. Before you is an enemy program. It's programmed to attack on sight. Touching it will initiate a battle. But you won't actually fight as you are too fragile. The effigy given you will fight in your stead. If your effigy is ever destroyed in battle, you will no longer be shielded from harm. To put it bluntly, you will die. So be very careful in battle. So there's no need to be afraid, for now. Just do what I say and you'll be perfectly safe at the time being. First off, why don't I explain a little bit about battles? First of all, there are 3 basic attacks commands that you can issue in battle. Attack, guard, and break. So yeah, interesting thing about this combat system. Like, you know how most games are RPGs have sort of a rock, paper, scissors mindset with this battle system? Yeah, basically, this is just in its literal sense. It's just literally just rock, paper, scissors. Each turn in battle is composed of 6 actions, and you'll need to tell your effigy what your strategy is to be. Battles are divided into turns, with 6 commands being issued each turn. Once confirmed, they will be executed all at once. The enemy before you should be quite easy to defeat as it will only perform break. Break, which is focused solely on power, shouldn't be much of a problem against attack. Now use the attack command to destroy the program. Yeah. And if you get 3 in a turn, get an extra attack. So, how'd it go? One thing to know is that in each turn you'll have to plan a series of 6 moves that will defeat the foe. The goal is still far ahead. If you must bask in the afterglow of your victories, do so while moving forward. You can overcome break by using the attack command. And then break overcomes the guard command, and guard overcomes the attack command. Oh look, here comes another program. You seem nervous. Perhaps you're anxious about fighting another battle? Do not be alarmed. That enemy isn't strong enough to harm you. It's only programmed to use attack. While attack is a potent action, defeating guard will allow you to defend and then counterattack. Guard can be used to reduce damage caused by an enemy attack, but I trust you know this. Now that you know how this battle will unfold, use the appropriate command to defeat the enemy program. Yes, that's exactly right. As you may have already noticed, performing 3 successful actions in a row result in a chain. By performing multiple chain attacks, you can perform a devastating follow-up attack on your opponent. If you land 3 strikes in a row, you will perform an extra attack. While multiple chains in a heated battle may be difficult, the results make it worth effort. Now please proceed. Yeah, I really love the music in this game. And the combat, it's very simple, it's effective, and it's honestly kind of engaging. You should be used to fundamentals ballast point, but I'll walk you through this one last tick. This program will only use guard and do nothing but battle. Yep, so you gotta use break. You have been through 3 battles and have used the attack, guard, and break commands. Someone as intuitive and observant as you must have already noticed this. Each of the 3 attacks balances each other out, creating a situation where no attack is dormant. What I just covered is an absolute basics of the battle and minimum info you'll need to know. Once you master all the basics, all that's left is to test yourself in battle and gain valuable experience. Now please proceed. Now this one, I believe, is randomized. All the enemy programs you face so far only have used one move, which won't happen in a real fight, absolutely. Like you, your enemies will choose their actions based on the situation and general observation. Their actions will be very difficult to predict at first. As you face the same enemy multiple times, you'll be able to read their tendencies and patterns accurately. Although, considering your lack of fighting experience, I may be expecting far too much from you. But anyway, please try your best. Yeah, so it's break, break, guard. So, and then... let's try that. And look at that, I'm right. Good job. Alright then, please proceed to the final room. Oh, I don't think I can use... yeah, that's right, I can't use items yet. I have to wait till I get my servant. I kind of like that, though. They don't want you to waste items on the tutorial. Ah, the chapel. I made it. At the end of a very long road, after going through a door that suddenly appeared in the wall, the oppressive air of this place where the spirits of the dead still linger. Here's my goal. That's what I thought. Further in, it appears as if someone has collapsed. When I look into his face, it's the student who was following Leo just now. I call out to him, but I get no reply. I shake him in an attempt to wake him up when I notice he's stone cold. I go as pale as the corpse before me, and I can no longer think coherently. All I can do is stare in bewilderment. It is at this moment The fallen effigy next to the male student comes to its feet with a clatter. After having to fight several enemy programs to get here, it's obvious that this thing is an enemy as well. Without warning, it suddenly twists around and comes right at me. I'm gonna say attack, guard, break, attack, break. Break, attack, break, attack, let's just try this. Ah. Well, game over. Game over, yeah! I can hear the voice, sound of distinct voice. Time has come. With your inevitable loss, I will consider this round of preliminaries to be fire. Farewell. I'll pray your find peace in your annihilation. That is the voice's final words to me. Oh, the power to protest. All I can do is stare at the floor. I think I'm gonna die here. Suddenly, at the edge of my now hazy vision, a number of brown-colored lumps seemed to rise from the ground. Actually, it might just be that I just noticed them now. They may have been there from the beginning for all I know. Those lumps are the bodies of an untold number of fallen Tsukimihara Academy students. Meaning that this has been going on for longer than just one or two instances. The guy before me wasn't the only one to fall. And all of the numbers made it. All the others made it here and died, unable to do anything. In a very short while, I suppose I'll become one of them. Maybe I should just close my eyes now. I did all that I could, so maybe it'd be better for it to end now. Just let it end now. I refuse to give up. I mean, like, what does it answer, if anything at all, if I just give up here? It doesn't do anything. I refuse to give up. I summon all my strength in an attempt to get back on my feet. However, as I try to move, an unbearably intense pain shoots through my entire body. If that's how it's going to be, no. If this is... Yeah, I like that. Because it's just like, are you sure you don't want to just let it go? Like, no, let's keep going. I don't want it to end like this. I cannot ignore the intense pain coursing through my body. I've reached a point where I can no longer see stars as my eyes feel like they're on fire. I feel like all 5 of my senses are being ripped from my body. I'm afraid. Afraid of the pain. Afraid of losing my senses. Afraid of becoming a corpse. The most terrifying thing. Disappearing without a trace for any reason at all. It's not right that I disappear here. My consciousness, shot through with waves of distortion, screams out against the justice of it all. What was the purpose of suffering through these headaches just to fade away here and now? What were they all for if I just fade away here and now? I have to stand up. It's okay if I'm scared. It's okay if I'm in pain. I have to rise above all of that. Because I have yet to fight of my own volition and of my own terms. Hey, you soul-type person over there. Wait just a second. Really, just 1 second. I have absolutely no idea who you are or who you're from. But your lamination, your preservation? While other gods choose to ignore you, their cries have reached my ears. And with the god Yuka no Mitama as my witness, I'd say it's too early for this one to go on the realm of the dead. Honestly, my favorite theme out of this game. I mean, I'm absolutely sure this charming soul is a wonderful person. Please, can I have it? The sound of breaking glass is accompanied by a light cutting through the room. I managed to move my weird body and aching head to see what's happening. I didn't notice it before, but something was slowly rising up from the floor in from the middle room. It had form. Hello, Tamamo no Mai. Its appearance isn't much different from that of a human being, but something is different. Clearly so. It's got tail and ears. The power emanating from it transcended that of any human, or of any enemy I have faced in getting here. An awesome power, it seems as if it vaporized anyone who touched swirls within my body against my will. Even if you weren't exactly clear why you need one, I brought you a Vulpine wife from an Imperial tomb. You seem a little apprehensive. You are my master, right? Yes. Hey! Contract established! Look forward to fighting by your side, my dear master. To be honest, I hope that I could be a servant to someone like you. My abilities might be a tad limited, so you might not be happy with me, master, but I'll try my best. And thus, the contract is established and this pact is formed. She holds my hand and helps me to my feet. From the hand she grabbed comes a sudden warmth and a sharp pain, like I've been cut by a knife. On the back of my hand is, though tattooed, a strange symbol that looks like some kind of crest. Totally confused, I alternate between staring at the mark on my hand and the person standing before me. And then, a noise behind me brings me back to my senses. Turning around, I see that the effigy from before is still there, now in a fighting stance. I wince uncontrollably, recalling my previous defeat at its hands. Master, if it isn't any trouble, would you please leave this to me? I will obliterate that worthless wooden toy and erase any trace of its existence from this world. Even in PSP graphics, Tamamo is fucking hot. Alright. Break, attack. All that. Guard, attack, break. Attack, attack, attack. She's got the extra. God, that she just was so finesse. I really want to see this, like, in, like, newer graphics, honestly. The battered effigy starts moving. There's no way it'll still function after being effectively torn apart. Thanks to you, my dear master, I was able to win while using only 5% of my power. She continues to talk, however, the sound of her voice doesn't quite reach my ears. The heat coming from the mark on my hand grew in intensity during the fight, and the resulting pain has become unbearable and burns through my consciousness. The mark imprinted on your hand is your command seal. It is proof that you hold dominion over a servant. You can use it to give 3 orders that must be obeyed. Think of them as disposable strengthening spots. It is also proof of your participation in the Holy Grail War. If you lose it for some reason, you will die. Once again, I hear that voice. I somehow managed to ignore the pain and listen to what it has to say. I can understand your confusion, but before I forget, congratulations. You have endured much to make it here. Now rest for a while. You've achieved your first battle. It is an incredibly clumsy effort, to say the least, but that's what made it all the more entertaining. I've had this duty for a long time, but this is the first time I've seen a master as helpless as you. Nevertheless, be proud of your achievement. Your quick thinking came as a result of your nerves and recklessness. Thinking about it, the voice sounds like that of a 30-year-old man, and it's really irritably smug. For some reason, I can see the owner of some voice as a priest dressed in a somber cassock. Oh, and you were curious about my identity? I'm honored, but I am insignificant. I am merely a part of the system. Gee, a smug priest who's a part of the Holy Grail War. I wonder whoever could that be? I'm just a guy tasked with giving a standard message and giving the personality of a prior participant. I am no more than words, no more than the mountain you just conquered, no more than the record of the past. A record, so if I raise any objections to his voice, does it mean it won't receive any answers in return? Hey, voice! You wouldn't by any chance know Kotomine Kirei, would you? Who told you? I mean, no. Well, this is unexpected. You have received a commendation. Something about you having light. I have no clue why you would say such a thing about me. But that short phrase struck my heart because, for some unknown reason, the words were sincere. As for I expect good things from you, it seemed more like a command than an encouragement. Now, let us commence your baptism. You've proven yourself worthy of the honor. For most, the monotony of everyday life continues on without end. Your decision to look beyond the accepted and progress means you've earned the right to exist. However, you have been but the first step. You have but taken the first step. Be jubilant, young knight, for the Holy Grail War begins now. I have no idea what he's talking about. The Holy Grail War, the right to exist. That is correct. An object of great power once existed in the world. One that could grant any desire. People call it the Holy Grail and fought endlessly in an attempt to gain sole possession of it. This war, the system you'll find yourself in now, is an evolution of those strategies. You stand at the entrance of the deadly struggle where many magi will perish in the pursuit of the Holy Grail. Listen, magi. I had not bestowed upon the earth desire. You'd be merely saints capable in committing a realm. Now, fight to the death. The fiery throne of heaven will only receive those with the strongest desires. The voice reverberates throughout the hidden chapel, as if it were the voice of a god. Kill. Magi. The Holy Grail that grants wishes? These questions, more and more, carve themselves. Swirl inside my head and almost seem to carve themselves in my flesh. In war, a weapon is needed. That is your servant. As a spear that pierces, the shield that protects. A legendary soul whose purpose is to clear your way to the Grail. That is one who stands beside you. I look over at the young woman with a foxtail who returns my look with a glowing smile. She is my servant. It seems you have decided. Then with that decision as payment, I now open the gates to the Holy Grail War. The marks on my hand, the command seal. Once again begin to become excruciatingly painful. It's over. I can't take it anymore. I reach the limit of my endurance as my mind starts to shut down. As I lose consciousness, I can vaguely hear the voice's final words. Now, let the Holy Grail War begin. No matter the era, deciding who is worthy battles divine providence of man. Magi who have been invited here by the moon Show me your true strength. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's confirmed that this is the moon. The mirror of every day slows off. A war between magi. The wheel of fate is turning. Week 1, temper your sword. And defend the value of your life. First week. The first selection. $128, man. We're gonna have to buy 128 people before we get them. Sky burns. Houses collapse into ruin. People fall into the ground. Roads come to an end. The conflict started here. With this, the world that will be restored. It is here that I alone had survived. Don't remember, never forget. Oblivion is salvation in sin. Never forget. I was born from perdition. This must be Nightmare. This had to be somewhere. It could be anywhere. These events that occurred in the true memories of childhood. A torrent of blood flows and a voice resonating with bitter resentment can be heard. Lies fade away without a thought. Family, friends, strangers, all gone. Soldiers with guns, families trying to hold together. A grotesque struggle to the last, until a gentle peace descends as death comes to claim them. I could not accept all that I have seen. The question of why never left me. Even with the divide between conflict and catastrophe, why did such a tragedy occur? No, more importantly, why has this world been turned into a hell on earth? A gentle rain begins to fall. All things once living fade away, leaving only one behind. Amidst the helplessness and despair, their souls' last feelings are of rage and regret. The rain wets their cheeks as their eyes close one last time, dying forgotten and alone. Seeing this, I struggle to rise from the depths of death. I will not accept what I have been shown. If I can live again, I will definitely. But there are no second chances. Before long, the rain has cleansed the scorched earth. Never forget, I was born from perdition. What that means. Somehow, please don't forget it. It seems I saw some sort of twisted, distorted dream. With that, I wake up in the nurse's office. Must have collapsed and was brought here. So, was that world the effigy that blocked my way? And that servant all a dream as well? No, this nurse's office is far different from the one I knew. It's similar, but off somehow. Hey, Tamamo. Good morning, my dear master. I'm glad to see you finally decided to wake up. The overwhelming, unforgettable presence of someone suddenly appears beside my bed. I thought I was dreaming, but the tales in the air are real. After seeing her incredible powers in the fight against Yevchi, I don't care what she is. If you died, I was going to curse everyone in sight. Anyway, welcome to the Holy Grail War. You do know all about the Holy Grail War, right? Of course I do! Do you know what the Holy Grail War is? Holy Grail War? I've heard a mention of it, but what is it exactly? Huh? Well, maybe you've forgotten exactly what the Holy Grail War is. You were asleep for a long time, so your memory might still be fuzzy. Let me explain then. First, the Holy Grail War. It supposedly held the blood of a savior and can grant any holy relics said to perform miracles that became well known through the Arthurian cycle. Exactly. The battle where Magi fight for the Holy Grail is called the Holy Grail War. You might have forgotten this too, but you're one of those Magi who have come to fight for the Holy Grail. Also, though it's called the Holy Grail, there's no way it could be the real thing. But don't worry about that. The fact that it can grant wishes makes it a Holy Grail of sorts. As for the rules, servants and Magi fight together and losers give up their command seals. My eyes are drawn to the left hand where I've been marked with these strange symbols. Masters continuing to duel until only one is left to claim the Holy Grail, I think. But don't worry, my dear master is a lock to make it all the way. It'll be a walk in the park. I doubt it's that simple. I have a million questions. I at least know the basics for now. And whether I want to be here or not, I'm now a participant in this Holy Grail War nonsense. Yes, understanding the basics is more than good enough for now. Now, okay, now it's out of the way. Let's get down to the important stuff. Do you know what servants are? Yes, of course. I'm sorry, of course you know. And by the way, my class is caster. My specialty is long-range magic. My fighting style might be a teensy bit difficult to get a handle on. I apologize for that. She seems unusually ongoing, but there's no denying her abilities as a servant. Wait, if all servants are legendary souls, I wonder who Caster was in real life. My true name? I'm far too insignificant for you to bother with my true name, Master. Please just call me Caster. That way my identity won't be revealed to our enemies, who could then use it against us. With that, my servant disappears into the ether. However, I can feel their presence nearby. They must be staying out of sight when they're not needed so their identity can't be compromised. But how their identity would be guessed is, just by their appearance, is beyond me. Ah, Yoko, you're finally awake. I'm so relieved. You don't seem to have any injuries, so feel free to leave when you feel like it. Also, all your memories have been restored by the Seraph, so do not worry. Any Magi that seek the Holy Grail and their memories suppressed and are given those of a student. Only masters who manage to recover themselves are allowed to enter the main tournament. Now that you have regained your memories, please review them to make sure they're complete. Regain my memories? That's not right. That's not my name. I can't recall anything of my past. I realized that everyone around me was forced to believe that they were normal students. However, I can't remember a single thing that happened to me before then. Your memory restoration failed. I cannot help you. I, Sakura Mato, am just a custodial AI. My complaints were totally ignored. It seems that she can't act beyond her programming. I should get this to you before I forget. She gives me some kind of portable terminal. I assume it's for getting messages and whatnot. As a participant, you should pay attention to any messages that appear on your terminal. Ah, it's one of my Arthur themes. This is the real thing, huh? The vibe here is totally different from the prelims. I went to the rooftop to get a look at the sky. You should take a look. It's pretty wild. It's a bunch of binary. Hey, Ren. I investigated the school top to bottom, but there's nothing unique about it. Girl pats the walls and floors, murdering something to herself. We never rep, but she can't be anyone but Rinto Seka. She has a nice face and figure, gets good grades, and it's popular at Sumigihara Academy. From what I hear, she even makes Shinji jealous. However, she became popular while the school was at peace. Things are different now. The defiant gaze is nothing like the vacant smile of a popular kid. The Holy Grail War. Before I knew it, the school had turned into a battlefield. Rin knows it too. Yeah, I hadn't registered it before, but we're all predators now. It's kill or be killed. I have to acknowledge that as the truth, even if I don't want to. Hey, you over there. Her eyes softened as she looks at me. Yeah, I know. I haven't checked out much of the NPCs much yet. I know a simple way. Don't you move. Unexpectedly, your fingers touch out into my cheek. Such thin, delicate fingers. I realize how remarkable it is that so strong a gaze can come from so innocent a frame. Imagine that. You're warm, that you shouldn't be. Huh? That's weird, seeing a red cheek flush like that. Her face is just 3 centimeters from the tip of my out. But my heart races at the closeness. Her breath exhales warmingly against my cheek and her hair tickles my bare neck. Her pat down of my shoulders and stomach seems playful compared to the harsh gaze from earlier. Transfixed, I'm unable to move as her pale fingers slide over me. Interesting. You're more well built than I expected. You look and feel real. Maybe more real than most people. Hey, what are you laughing at? It's to our advantage to look into everything, even the NPCs. She looks behind her, scowling. Although invisible, her servant must be there. Huh? She's a master too. No, a master should be more... Wait, that means what I felt up... She must be thinking about it now, because she's blushing, as am I. How embarrassing. Shut up! I can make mistakes too! No. Don't call me a pervert! I'm pretty sure she was addressing an off-color comment coming from her servant there. It could have been my imagination, or a hacker such detailed NPC would rarely exist otherwise. Anyway, you're to blame for being confusing. You're too bland to be anything but an NPC. Nothing but a bland look on your face, even now. Were the prelims too boring to jog your memories? She touched on a subject that I would rather not think about, even in jest. It kind of grinds me to a halt. No way. Your memories still haven't returned? That's really not good. Once you enter the Holy Grail War, the only way out is to win. Leaving prematurely isn't allowed. Even without memories or previous battle experience, you still have to fight. It doesn't matter. You'll be defeated in the Holy Grail War soon enough. As concern disappears from her voice, I glimpse the real Tosaka, my opponent in the Holy Grail War. It isn't personal. She considers everyone in the Holy Grail War her enemy. This woman doesn't understand that she's nothing compared to you. Are you letting her say that? Unlike my servant, I have no witty response to my future rival. I have to win. Now that I know what's at stake, I have to win. Well, I guess I pity you. We're not cracking into the system and destroying it, we're hacking. I don't know what's on the other side of the Seraph's wall once it goes down. Did your soul get jarred after you made it to the main event? If it's lost or unreadable, then how about you investigate later? Well, in any case, you don't look like you're cut out for fighting. Thanks to excitement or nerves, everything feels unreal, no matter if you have memories or not. You can't help feeling like you're in a dream. It'll be hard to win feeling so disoriented. So I've lost my memories. Who am I? What's my story? What am I even doing in this Holy Grail War in the first place? All I know is that I'm a master with a servant at my command. Once your opponent has been decided, it's like the tournament has begun. What? You don't know who you're fighting? Hey, Kodamene. Congratulations, you have been deemed worthy to be a participant in the Holy Grail War. You may call me Father Kodamine. I'm an NPC designed the task of supervising the Holy Grail War. As of today, you and your fellow Magi have been given the honor of fighting up in the arena ahead. The war is run as an elimination tournament, with the Grail being awarded to the last person standing. In other words, the participating masters will kill each other until there's only one person left. Simple enough to understand, yes? Even a complete idiot should be able to understand the rules. Masters get a 6-day preparation period before elimination battles, which will occur on the 7th day. I'd advise you use the time given to devise the most efficient means of slaughtering your foe. On the 7th day, you and your foe will fight. The winner lives, and the loser is deleted. If you wish to make a query, speak now. The right to ask about the rules is given all. As I've already explained, you already have kill your opponent. The Yara Masters are given the same time to prepare for the battle and to kill. As for how to prepare, I cannot help you. Do whatever you feel is necessary. Terminal will relay any message. It's... Yeah. It's like... It's basically just a heads-up system. Just a moment. Strange. There seems to be a system error. I'll locate your opponent by tomorrow. One last thing. Masters that continue to advance will be given a private room. Oh, the time for conversation is come to an end. The door leads to an arena. As for today, concentrate on becoming accustomed to the inner workings of the arena. The arena entrance uses the same door you went through during the preliminaries. Good luck. Here, Taka. You'd be willing to do a poor teacher a little favor, right? Right? Sure. Thank you, you've made my day. See, my favorite kendo sword has up and disappeared. I stashed it in the supply room, but somehow managed to find its way into the arena. Since I can't go in there, I need you to get my kendo sword and hand it over during the first round. I'm not here all the time, so you'll have to check back every now and then. Master, remember that once you're in the arena, you've committed. Leave and the day is over. Be sure to get your shopping and rumormongery done before heading to the arena, right? I understand. So this is the arena. Huh. Look how stark and uninviting this place is. There's an ungodly number of enemies prowling about, but fear not. I can take them out for you, Master. Seeing as this is your first fight, why don't you just aim for that enemy over there for today? There's a weak enemy coming out. Really shouldn't be a problem, but use square for healing items. You could shower with healing basis. That'd be great since my defense is sketchy at best. Alright. Alright. There we go. Yeah. The thing I like about this game mainly is, aside from like experience and levels, like the main thing to take away from like the combat in this is that it's mainly based around just getting used to what enemies can do. There we go. And that's an extra. At some point, it's just a matter of just, like, remembering what your characters can do. Remember what your enemies can do, and then just responding on that. Okay, so here's an item. That's a good ether shard. Another item. 2 for 2. 300 points. There's a interesting item down there. Okay, so let's go down this way. 2 enemies. Alright. Let's take on this dude. Nice. That's another one. Let's try that. Ooh. Oh. Nice. And that's a level up. Territory creation. This skill allows for one to create a reality made specifically to their skills as a magus. Unfortunately for Tamama Mai, her personality is ill-suited. I like how they're going off of the idea that, like, we're just gonna keep her name hidden, but they literally just say it right here. Her personality is ill-suited for the task of manipulating reality, and she has great difficulty even creating small-scale crafting studio for creating minor amulets and level talismans. Did you get to see how many seals you got? Hmm. Let's go break, attack, guard, break, attack, guard. What we got next? Let's go break, attack, guard, break, attack, guard. Attack, attack, guard, attack, attack, guard. There we go. Yeah, you know, people who have played this game long can be like, bashing me for like not getting it right away, but hey, I gotta say, I'm doing a lot better than a certain game journalist, am I right? Alright. Let's go attack, attack, guard, attack, attack, guard. That's an extra. And that's another one. Yeah, still can't do anything. Tata guard, tata guard. And that's KO. What the fucking run Tamamo does. Yeah, I'm not seeing any more enemies. Yeah, this is kind of the problem I have with Fate Extra is that it's fun, but like there's not really a whole lot of opportunities to like actually grind and if enemies kind of the respawn rate for enemies is kind of lacking because you gotta wait a while. At this point, it's just muscle memory now. Ah, it's actually changed things up. Yeah, like she keeps telling me, hey, we want to pass on this one for now, but it's like there's nowhere else to go. Let's take a look at this. Yeah, there's nowhere else to go. I got like nothing else to do. And I have like less than a week. There we go. There we go. Like a book. Ooh. Yeah, most likely. I mean, I could stick around here and whatnot, but I seriously doubt it's gonna matter. But I seriously doubt it's gonna matter. I probably can't do that until later. Ah. Let's game. But yeah. Like, I would like to be able to continue on and do this. But legitimately... Gibbs not really giving me much choice outside of grinding. Like, I could just keep going and whatnot. Until I actually hit a point where it's like, yeah, now it's letting me. Because it's like, I'm not even, like, wasting resources or anything. It's literally just rock, paper, scissors. I mean, in terms of, like, RPGs, this is pretty as basic as it can go. There we go. Yeah, this. On one hand, I like the fact that it's like, you know, it creates enemies where it's just like, yeah, it might be better to come back and fight this later and everything. But legitimately, it feels so limiting. I think that was my biggest criticism with, like, the combat designs, was just like, yeah, the gameplay exploring the dungeon, like, yeah, like, you only got, like, 6 days to do it. Alright, but it also, we're not going to give you, we're not gonna really, like, let you explore as much as possible. We're going to, like, restrict you as much as we possibly can. And you're gonna have to only, like, grind very slowly. Like, I'll fight one more enemy and then I'll just, like, call it. But yeah, pretty much, this is kind of just the game, what the gameplay is going to be like. Yeah, it's basically... Basically, after you find the arena, she has a word with you and everything. And it goes like, ah, here's your results from actually training, and here's results from just... As I leave the classroom, I hear an electronic noise. I see a portable terminal icon from the statues in my pocket. When I remove it, I see some words displayed on the screen. Next combatants on the second floor bulletin board. Combatant announcement. It must mean who I'm going to one-on-one battle with. I don't fully understand, but I ought to go to the second floor bulletin board to check it out. In answer to the notice sent to my terminal, I reluctantly head to the bulletin board. On that now dreaded white piece of paper posted there, 2 names have been written. The first is my own, the other name is Shinji Mato. Oh, I get to kill the asshole! So, you're my first opponent? I'm surprised you even managed to qualify. At some point during my initial shock, Shinji came up beside me. But I guess here, all things are possible. Yeah, you might even be most powerful magus here. We're at different levels even though we're friends. But still, I should congratulate you. Hey, did you just barely squeak through the prelims? I guess you're the charity case. I guess being mediocre has its advantages. You got all these handicaps and whatnot. Keep in mind, this tournament is all about true strength, so don't get too overconfident. And the guys who are running this are geniuses. Just look at how intense the first round is. Come on, I mean, forcing people to give up friendships in order to win? That's pretty insane. What a cruel mistress fate could be, right? Even me, the strongest master here, is pained by this. After that little outburst, Shinji puts on a plastic smile and pats me on the shoulder. Well, let's keep things clean, alright? It should be a good fight after all. You're a master too. When we see each other again, it will be as enemies. Don't let your friendship hold you back. Not to fight Shinji and his servant. No matter how many times I repeat myself, the words fail to register in my brain. Do I have to kill a friend, a fellow human being? Then, when I don't even have any clue as to why? The whole situation is fast become a nightmare. If Shinji is making light of the situation, why do I feel like I'm still trapped in hell? Electronic noise. Cipher key has been chained. Cipher key? What's that supposed to be? I guess it's supposed to be a key of some kind. It's a good idea to ask that priest from Fort Kodamine about messages received via my terminal. He did say that all participants have the right to ask about any of the basic rules of the tournament. Two triggers must be retrieved by the end of each week if you mean to participate in the tournament. 2. The arena itself will be divided into 2 floors, and 1 trigger or a cipher key is generated per floor, so obviously that results in 2 per matchup. It's the job of the master to go and retrieve these cipher keys. For convenience, everyone prefers them as primary trigger and secondary trigger. You will be notified through your portable computer terminal when it trigger generates. Combat between masters is prohibited in an arena and on campus at all time. If for some reason a fight occurs, the system will shut down within 3 turns. As a penalty, the status of any master caught fighting on campus will be downgraded. What's all this business about triggers anyway? Collecting them is way too hard, and for what? Is something amazing going to happen once you collect them? Have you been to the arena yet? You should be able to code cast items using the arena too. Apology connection, the has the books. The art and design selection. Okay. Wrong floor. You're going to get the trigger? Looks like to be you. I'm going right now too. Tall cretin like you won't be able to find it, but good luck anyway. Dirty calculating. Dare you insult my beloved master so? Master, hurry up and go after him. I'll pound that little guppy into chum. Francis Drake. It smells like cheap cologne in desperation. Must be that smart little punk. This might be a golden opportunity to get some info of them. Let's track them down before they leave. And Master, lots of stuff happens here if you miss out. Any info you might have gotten will be lost for good. Also, you can only enter the arena once a day. Make sure you thoroughly explore before leaving for the day. Let's level up a bit before we go ahead and take them on. There we go. And that's an extra. That's another extra. And that's game. It's another game. Hey, some weaselly little jerk. I knew he'd show up. You run into your opponents in the arena a lot. You never know how these meetings will turn out, but this might be a great chance to see what they're up to. You're late. While you were crawling along, while you were crawling along like the slug you are, I attained the trigger. What's with that look? Your skills are pathetic compared to mine, so don't be so harsh on yourself. Speaking of you losing, let me introduce you to my servant. I'm going to win. That's all that matters to me. If you can't even get your cipher keys, you might as well accept your game over right here and now. Seriously, feel free to turn her into a bullet-reading corpse whenever you feel like it. Alright, but you sure you're done gloating? I found myself enjoying your chatter. As you can see, when it comes to talking about others, my master is a total social retard, right? Seeing him actually having a conversation with you, I thought we could settle this peacefully. Where the hell do you get off analyzing me? She's my enemy. Will you hurry up and name her already? Look at the tough guy. I have to admit, I admire the fact that you're evil enough to give a friend a beatdown. The darkness of your grubby little soul is impressive, Shinji. Oh yeah, I expect a generous reward later. crap. Looks like the Seraph has an eyes on us. Oh well, there's no need to take her out right now anyway. I like seeing you grovel in the dirt like trash. Big hard enough and I might take you making my underling. Who knows? I might even share some of the prize money with you. Ugh! Can't believe that little punk dared to just create the supple skin of this fair maiden. Or the shreds. Oh yeah. Considering his servant uses a gun, she might be an archer, but don't quote me on that. I mean, the archer class is really made up of archers. So yeah, really investigate the arena to find out info on the enemy and maybe gain a tactical advantage. The key to surviving the Holy Grail War is to gather as much info as you can. And follow my nose, of course. More praise, please. You could just rub my ears. Oh yeah, this war is also a race against time. We might not see that little pug again tomorrow. Some info is only available on certain days, so you should try to search the arena every day. What do we got here? So that's all we got to go off of, huh? So let's go break, guard, attack, break, guard, attack. Sure likes to use guard a lot, huh? Break, attack, guard, break, attack, guard. I'm starting to get it. Let's try that. Guard, guard, attack, guard, guard, attack. There we go, now we're getting somewhere. Ooh. Ah, Taiga. Alright, let's see what we got up here. Tac tac break, tac tac break. Let's try that. No guard inside, does it? Attack. Attack. Guard. Attack, attack, guard. Close. Guard, guard. Attack. Attack. Attack, guard. Nailed it! Guard, attack, attack. Attack, attack, guard. Almost there. Ooh. But it's done. Nice. They got the trigger. So this is the trigger. Kodamine said that there are 2 per round, so do not forget to attain the second one. So one more area you gotta check out. There we go. And that was a crit too. Let's go down here. This guy again. Guard. Break attack. Guard. Break attack. Okay. Break, break, guard, break, break, guard. There we go. Perfect. I'm gonna say attack, break, break, attack, break, break. Nope. That right. Ooh, that's even. Oh, that's good. Alright. What's here? Phoenix Scarf. Most formal wearers infused with special abilities referred to as code casts. Use those abilities, press square. I think I've explored everything. Guard, break, break, guard, break, break. Attack. Break, break. Attack, guard, break. I'm gonna say guard, break, 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 attack. No. Break a guard, and then break. Nice. Call that one. Okay. This one favors attack and breaking. Attack, attack, guard. Attack, attack, guard. Oh, hit me on that one. Attack, guard, attack. Attack, guard, attack. That's one. That's two. Ooh, that one's an even. Alright. Caught me on that one. Attack, guard. Attack, attack. Guard, guard. That's good. And that's the third. Pull up the extra. Not dead yet. One. That's two. Do I make it? And that's 3. Calling it as I see it. Ooh, he's just sliver. He's just sliver. We guard that, attack, and attack. Guard, attack, attack. Nice. We had that. We had in the bag. Hmm. Alright, sorry, I just got a call. I mentioned this yesterday, but we have to know our enemy to defeat them. Investigating the camps with the eye of a sleuth every day will yield important clues. Once you enter the arena, you can't go back and investigate anything you missed, alright? People give things away when they talk, but they don't repeat themselves, so don't miss out. Make a habit of investigating campus and listening to others before entering the arena. I said a lot there. Did you catch it all? I knew you were paying attention, Master. Let's go investigate. But yeah, alright. I'm gonna call it here. Oh, man. Feels good to return to Fate Extra after so long. It's a simple RPG, but hey, can't act like I don't like it. Anyway, I don't really think I'm going to make it a habit of continuing these as full playthroughs as much as it is just going to, like, coming back for a stream to these games and then just sort of, like, moving on to other stuff. I don't really think this is going to be like a, hey, let's play Fate Extra throughout the entirety as much as it is, hey, I kind of wanted to go back and look at Fate Extra one more time. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. So, take care.